Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2018 by Zenith. It's the Zenith Pilot Cronometro Tipo CP-2 Flyback in bronze. It is an evolution of 2016's reissue of the Cronometro Tipo CP-2, a historic Italian military aviation piece built by Zenith in the 60s. This model in bronze is 43 millimeters in diameter, 13 millimeters thick, 51.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it wears nicely, comfortably, but it is broad. I would not recommend it for wrists smaller than mine, being almost 52 millimeters from lug to lug. You can see that those lugs are right out to the edge of my wrist, and you can see it again from over the top. So I could wear this, but if your wrist is smaller than 16, you're going to want a smaller Zenith. Taking a quick look, it's actually thinner than I expected. At 13 millimeters, it will slide underneath the dress cuff, and that's a bit of a surprise. The strap is high-grade aviator style, which is to say calfskin with a contrasting binding, but an unexpected combination of mostly bonded construction, so it doesn't feature a stitch down its profiles. The flanks are all bonded, so it creates a very seamless look from the binding at the end of the case to the binding at the tip of the strap. It's also what Zenith calls oily nubuck, which means it has an incredibly velvety, almost sueded texture that's wonderfully luxurious. Don't worry about fingerprints and smudges. It's not literally oily, but it has a slick feel suggestive of natural oils. We also have here a little titanium pin buckle with the Zenith star, and where bronze is not used on this watch, titanium is, and you can see that on the reverse of the case. The case is bronze, and as you can see, it's been slightly burnished, so aged a little bit and then burnished to create highlights and lowlights. You can see the contrast is there. We have a little bit of a bevel at the end of the lugs, which come to tapered points. They're fully blended and integrated into the case band. We have vintage style pump pushers, and of course a Zenith crown with the Zenith star logo on it. We have a bezel with a sharp knurling outboard that makes it easy to grip, and most bidirectional aviator bezels are actually of the 60 click variety. This one is 120, making it a little bit more precise and also giving it a more positive detent feel. It's a lot of these bidirectional aviator bezels, they're very duff, poorly defined, and indistinct. Here it feels as crisp as a good dive bezel. Now you line up that bezel pearl with the minute hand, and we'll take a quick look at the loom so you can see that this watch is quite well loomed, and that includes the chronograph seconds hand. So you've got two ways to time an interval. You have a 0 to 60 minute count up timer using the bezel, and concurrently you can time up to 30 minutes using the chronograph. The dial features a bronze-grained profile, so I'll get as close as I can here, but it has a chiseled-like grained profile. This is not a matte opaline. This is a very deep and rough, almost sandpaper-like surface. And then you can see we've got our twin register, balanced vintage-inspired dial. There is no date. It's very clean, very symmetrical. And then we have a fade from light at the center to darker at the edges with rose gold plated hands, including sector-style batons for the hours and the minutes, and a lovely counterweighted delta-style chronograph seconds hand with a Zenith star up at the top of the dial. Now on the reverse side, you can see the El Primero caliber 405, the same movement that once upon a time did duty in the famed French aviation rainbow flyback. So it's an El Primero related to that original 1969 world's first integrated automatic high-beat chronograph. All this 100 meters water resistant to protect the 31 joule movement, which is defined by its automatic winding, which is bidirectional, its 50-hour power reserve, and its 36,000 vibration per hour beat rate. So against the ear, it has a double-step cadence, and you can see that the chronograph seconds hand sweeps smoother than it would with a 4 hertz, 3 hertz, or 2.5 hertz chronograph. You can see here we have a blued column wheel visible through the case back for a real crisp and positive action, and then a lateral clutch. And a lot of automatic chronographs are nothing to write home about. They're not very attractive. This one, like most El Primeros, is incredibly attractive because the winding bridge doesn't block any of the chronograph mechanism. It's quite good looking. And again, it has that humming 36,000 vibration per hour beat rate. But this one, being the flyback, also features the ability to reset and restart without first stopping, ideal for timing events that occur in rapid succession, such as during military aviation. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.